Now would be the perfect time for an alien invasion. There's no good time. I think we can all agree on that. But if I had to pick a time, I would say this is the best time. Yeah. Because if aliens invade, it's not going to be good for us. Right? We know we don't stand a chance. If they can travel through space-time, our weapons mean nothing. We're probably just going to annoy them with our guns. Pew, 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 pew. You know, they're going to get here, and we've seen how it turns out, right? They fly in, right? They're going to blow everything up. We've watched Independence Day. We know how this happens, right? Yeah, and even if Will Smith helps, he can only slap like one at a time, you know? So what do? I think about it all the time. Genuine. I think about alien invasions all the time. It is my Roman Empire. Like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Well, I never used to think about this. Like, when I lived in South Africa, this was nowhere in my mind. But in America, it's a real thing. Yeah, because when aliens come, this is where they're gonna come. Yeah, they're gonna fly here. They come straight to Washington, D.C., blow up the White House. And they go to other countries, you know, they go to London, blow up Big Ben. You know what time it is. And they fly to other landmarks, blow everything up. I know, it's an issue. America first, I get it. Yeah. When I was in South Africa, this is something I never thought about, ever. Because I knew when aliens invade, they're gonna go, they're gonna blow up the world. But the one place they don't go is Africa. Yeah. You've seen the movies. They never invade Africa. I used to watch those movies all the time, and I'd wait. In the movie, the president would come and be like, citizens of Earth, aliens are invading our planet. Then you'd see the aliens invade. And then you'd be like, wait, I guess Africa's not on the planet? What is happening? They never invaded. Can you think of a single movie where they invaded Africa? District 9. No. What? District 9. District 9? No. And screw you for trying to mess up my special. Sitting up there in the balcony like a king. District 9, I tell you! Off with his head! No. District 9, it's a good attempt, but no. If you remember the plot of District 9, the aliens didn't invade Africa. The aliens crash-landed in Africa. And then they spent the rest of the movie trying to escape. Because we don't mess around. Hollywood is so messed up. Yeah, it's just like, what's the worst thing that could happen to aliens? What if they were trapped in Africa? Aliens never invade, man. They don't invade Africa. They just never did. I used to think it was because they felt bad for us. Yeah, because as a kid, I used to love watching those movies. I still love watching them now. But as a kid, I loved those movies. Anything with aliens, I was there. And my mom, she would make me like a big bowl of popcorn at home, and we would sit on the couch together, and she'd watch all of those movies with me. She hated them, but it said parental guidance, and she took that very seriously. Like, one day she was walking past, and then it was like, we recommend parental guidance for this film. And she was like, I gotta watch this. And then she did it every movie going forward. I would have to run and call her sometimes. The show would just start randomly on TV, and they'd be like, and I'd be like, Mom! Mom! And then she'd come in and I'd be like, what? I need you to guide me. Yeah, but then like 5 minutes in, I feel like I was guiding my parental, because she would sit there, and then the whole movie she'd be like, what's happening, Trevor? Who are they? Who are these people? Why are they doing this? What's going on here? I'd be like, Mom, I'm with you. I'm with you. I started this movie with you. So she would make me like a big bowl of popcorn, and we'd sit there, and then the movie would start, and the alien invasion, they'd be like, aliens are invading Earth. And the aliens would fly, and you'd see them blowing everything up, and I'd be there with my popcorn like, first world problems. I genuinely thought, I was a little kid. If you ask me, like, how come you never see them in Africa? I was like, oh, because they feel bad. I thought the aliens felt bad, for Africa. You know, there'd be the ship that would fly over each continent to blow it up. And then there'd be one over the African continent, 2 aliens in the cockpit, like,
Prepare to launch photon lasers. You get ready on your command. 3, 2, 1. Wait, hold on. I think we already did this continent. I think we've been here. Negative. We've never been here before. Blow it up. What am I blowing up? Look at this shit. Something already happened. What the hell's going on here, dude? What am I supposed to blow up? Who did this? I don't know. Checking now. Beep, 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 beep. It says it was the British. Yeah!
Think about where China was 35 years ago.
Yeah.
And I mean, you go there and everyone was riding a bicycle, and now they're building better tech than we have in the United States.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not just this idea of, oh, countries are static, and I need to help you understand that when you go to Japan, it's different. It's also that your own place is changing, and how you're perceived as being is different than it used to be.
How far do you think America is from how many Americans think about it currently in the world?
Oh, I think it's
Like take us through a little journey. So let's talk about that period. There's the period where America comes out of these wars, physical and otherwise, right? The Cold War is the World War,
Vietnam War.
But there's this moment, like America has this idea of itself, and the world has an idea of America, And I think some people are still sort of set in that and stuck in it, but it's clearly changed. What do you think has been the biggest shift?
there have been a few.
Yeah.
One, a big one, is that America used to be the place that wanted to trade with everybody. Free trade.
Yeah.
Now tariffs are the principal tool that the Americans are using economically. And it's not just about Trump. I mean, most people in the US, Democrats, Republicans, are saying, no, we don't want free trade. We want, like, stuff that's built much more here. And we want more manufacturing here. And, you think as well about immigration. And my grandma came through Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty.
Where did she come from?
Originally, they are Syrian Armenians.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so they came over, and she's even on a little bench, on a little.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Kind of cool to see.
Still now.
Yeah.
That's
I haven't been
amazing.
today, but I think so. Unless someone ripped it out. I mean,
On these 2 cold days,
Yeah.
she's out there in a bench.
Still there. My old grandma.
And
No
you're out
taking care
here
of her.
draped in cashmere and wool.
You and your textures.
Eugene loves
Crazy.
textures.
I
He
can't help
does. So, and I think of the Statue of Liberty as a pretty iconic thing for the United States.
Right.
But, I mean, clearly that doesn't reflect who the United States is today. Right? I mean, like welcoming immigrants from all over the world.
Yeah,
Give
that's
me your
changed.
tired, your huddled
Yes.
masses. That is nowhere close.
Yeah, now it's give me your people who have $1 million to invest or $5 million to spend on citizenship.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the new thing now.
Yes. Sell me your golden visa.
Sell me your golden visa.
Right. Yeah. And also let me see your social media history.
Oh,
by
yes.
the way,
Yeah.
the last 5 years. When I first saw that, I didn't see the context. Of course, you'd immediately think, oh, that's China. You would think that from around the world, right? Or you think it was Russia or some other authoritarian state that controls information. Turns out it's the United States. Most other people around the world would not have thought. That does not comport with their view of the United States.
I'm just thinking about how powerful the idea of a place is, in that it can be so powerful that people don't notice when it is doing things that it said it did not stand for. Because what you just said, I don't know why that it just like jammed something in my brain.
I saw the reaction immediately.
No, it literally jammed something in my brain where I went, if you put out a news headline tomorrow and said, China is going to be scrubbing people's social media for anyone who comes into the country, they're going to look through their social media for 5 years and they're going to get access to your phone. How would most people react? They would go, I'm never going to China.
Yeah, but they'll be like, of course I expect it.
Yeah. And they'll be like, what kind of country
not
does
bringing
this?
my phone. Got to bring a burner. All that
Exactly.
kind of stuff. It's a communist country.
Mm.
Don't trust them. Authoritarian. The United States is these things are fluid. Nations are fluid. Governments. These all things. Our identity. What do we stand for? Who are we? I mean, maybe the most consistent thing since I was growing up is money in terms of what the United States stands for.
Yeah, the
Right?
dollar.
The almighty dollar.
Yes.
But I, when I grew up, the U.S. didn't only stand for the dollar; it stood for other things too, and I think that's becoming a challenge.
You're always writing books about moments in
And
time.
tweets. Don't forget tweets.
I'll never forget the tweets.
Okay, good.
Where you guys first met.
Yeah.
Our meet cutes.
Yeah.
You're always writing books about moments and ideas that speak to those moments. You know, a power crisis. You know, how the world is moving at a certain moment in time. I always wonder, you know, especially from authors who tap into these moments in the zeitgeist, I always wonder what they're seeing that we're not seeing that leads to them writing that book. And I'd love to know, like, what you're seeing now that would inspire a book that you would be writing for the future. What's capturing your attention and your imagination as someone who studies the world?
Maybe the book that I wrote that probably was most prescient was back in 2011, and I'm going to answer your question. I just wanted to give you a thought about it, and about the G0 world. And this idea, not that I had some crystal ball, but that it seems so overdetermined by big structural factors in the world, by the fact that the Russians, when the Soviet Union collapsed, we said that we wanted to bring them in, the NATO-Russia Council, the G7 plus one. We never really wanted to bring them in. They were angry about it. They blamed us. And we said we wanted to bring China in. We did, but only if they were going to become Americans, only if they actually accepted our economic system. They became free marketeers. Only
They
if they
kissed the
accepted,
ring.
right? If they adapted their system and they became much, much more powerful, but they were still Chinese, so we weren't happy about that. And then the United States increasingly had a whole bunch of people saying, well, all that stuff that we used to do, like, you know, sheriff of the world and architect of trade and promoting democracy, we don't really buy that stuff. So you put all those things together, it seemed to me wildly overdetermined that the world wasn't going to be Pax Americana. It wasn't going to be G7 or G2 or G20. It was going to be an absence of global leadership. That the U.S. wasn't going to play the role it used to, but no other country or group of countries could come together and replace it, at least not for a period of time. And so it seemed to me wildly overdetermined, even if some of these things were going to change, that the train had so much momentum pulling out of the station and going downhill that the G0 was going to come. So I wrote that because, you know, a book should be something that stands up for a while. And the thing that I see now.
Wait,